hit rock bottom last year because, I mean, I was just wilding out, having too much fun, and I humiliated myself in public, and I also crashed badly.
Whoa, let's back up.
Yeah.
Humiliated, like, how bad was it?
It was bad. It was bad. Super bad. Where, I mean, like, people were like, "What is that, Liz? Oh my God! Like, that's just not who I am, you know?" And I'm like, "Man, that is not who I am." I'm like,
"What were we doing?"
Yeah.
We're not describing this.
Yeah,
we need the deets.
I couldn't even recognize myself, guys, and sometimes that's just what happens when we go too
What
far.
were you?
Option for a podcast. I'm always joined by the second half of the show. GQ Nesto, how you doing today?
What it do? I'm doing good.
Probably a little bit of traffic,
A little bit.
a little hectic day. Not going to report in the schedule. All right, but we here, we adjust. That's what we do, right? Ladies and gentlemen, we're in for a very, very special treat. Joining us in the studio today is we have Elizabeth Perez, right? Also known as Lizz.
Yes.
She's a model, she's a talent and influencer. But her life experiences have forced her to stare into the mirror and at personal accountability. That reflection has sparked a new meaning as a way forward. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lizz to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate you guys. I know it's been a while, right, that we've been in contact, maybe like about 18 months or so.
Yeah.
It wasn't my time, guys. It wasn't my time, but today is my time. Our stars have aligned, so sometimes it's just all about timing. So thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate you guys. Andrew and Nesto, thank you very much.
For sure. Thank you for being here. What have you been up to? You still modeling?
Yeah, I'm still modeling. Modeling has been a part of my life basically since I was like 9 years old. So originally I was scouted by a talent agent at the mall. I showcased in Beverly Hills, and next thing you know, I signed with my first agent at 9 years old. And ever since then, I've been represented by different modeling and talent agencies. The industry has changed so much. It's been a part of me ever since. So now, currently, I feel like that's been like a block for me. Like, my foundation has set me up for whatever's next. So modeling has been, it's been a blessing, right? It's just been a part of me. I've got to travel, work with celebrities, and good pay and all that. Shorter career though, I would say, but mainly it's definitely setting me up for whatever's next. So I'm still doing that part-time, and my life kind of took a change and a toll during COVID, and I think that kind of happened for a lot of us. I knew once COVID hit, I was like, yeah, nothing's gonna go back to normal, right? I was like, things are just changing. So I basically was shut down. I was shut down, like I was considered a non-essential worker. And I'm like, what the hell, non-essential worker? I'm like, I'm like, so I'm useless? Like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, I've been doing this since I was 9 years old, And aside from that, I was also working different jobs, like serving, waitressing, cocktail serving at the casinos, and I love all that. So I had a flexible schedule. But everything was shut down. So then I filed for unemployment, and I had money saved, so everything was all good at first. Because I was just having a lot of fun. I was having too much fun, and eventually last year I hit rock bottom because yeah, so I hit rock bottom last year because I was just wilding out, having too much fun, and I humiliated myself in public, and I also crashed badly.
Whoa, let's back up.
Yeah.
Humiliated, like, how bad was it?
It was bad. Super bad. Where, people were like, "What is that, Liz? Oh my God. Like, that's just not who I am, And I'm like, man, that is not who I am. I'm like,
what were we doing?
Yeah.
We're not describing this.
Yeah,
we need the deets.
I couldn't even recognize myself, guys. And sometimes that's just what happens when we go too far.
What were you drinking?
I don't know. I was drinking everything. And then another event, I crashed and totaled my car.
Oh.
I crashed into a traffic pole and I wrecked my beautiful Lexus that I worked so hard for. I lost my car. I freaking smashed my face and fractured my nose, bled so much. And I even tried to flee the scene, guys. Like, that's how messed up I was. But I couldn't. I was stuck. Next thing you know, the cops roll up and
What was the music?
oh God.
Were you like listening to Carol G or something
No.
like that? Like Javi Chota or something? Like,
I love hip hop, I love rap, R&B.
Oh,
I like the old school stuff.
so which one was it? Like when you know when you crash and then shit's going on, the radio's still on, you know what I mean?
Oh God,
What
that
was
was crazy. I can't even remember. I was blacked out. That's how bad it was. Yeah, so do not drink and drive, guys. So long story short, cops roll up, I get taken to jail.
it?
And I'm in jail for 12 hours. And I'm in there checked in, you know, with my little sandwich and blanket. And I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm like, what am I doing? And this is my second DUI because I got my first DUI when I was 19. So then, you know, I get out and I feel real bad about myself, obviously. So I'm going through the whole process now, following my court orders. And I recently had to go to a morgue to see dead people. So I saw about 300 dead bodies
Why?
inches away from me because it was court ordered. The
That's
judge.
cruel.
Yeah, it's cruel, right? Very, very cruel. And on top of
That's
that,
how you want to be.
yeah, right? And I had to see a live autopsy. And so to me, that was the ultimate, like, wow, like life and death situation. I'm literally inches away from death. I had to smell death. And to me, that's a sign from God. To me, that's like, get your crap together, Elizabeth, you know?
You had a whole show. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
A reality of
Exactly.
what happened.
So back-to-back events. And so ever since then, I'm just like super grateful and appreciative. And I'm like, life is beautiful, guys.
It is.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's basically, you know, a real tough situation to be in, but it's a real thing, exactly. I'm here today, guys. Thank you. Yes.
In your opinion, do you think, like, I know we spoke briefly, but like, do you think alcoholism can be like related to culture?
For sure, absolutely. Yes, we see this in society, right? Us Mexicanos, we know this, you guys as well, right? It's in
You
you know, Mexican, blacks, whites, Asians, everything. So what I mean is, like, we see this, like, talent, like myself, right? I've been casted to promote, like, Michelob Ultra, for example. Like, it's promoted in the society and our culture. And as a Mexican-American, and shout out to my parents too, they're from Jalisco, Mexico, born in Jalisco, came here to a foreign country. And they had me and my two older brothers. I'm the youngest out of three, born and raised here in LA. So the culture it's in our blood. Yeah, so when a woman turns 15 in our culture, well, a girl to a woman, right? So, yeah, quinceañeras, right? So when she's 15, she's grown. So when I was 15, I thought I was grown, but I was just a little baby girl. I was a teenager. That's the first time that I drank. So definitely in the culture for sure, yeah.
What would you say? I mean, because I know you were like, you know, professional and career driven and stuff like that. So like, would you consider yourself like a social drinker, or you was like just something that you craved?
I would say I was definitely a social drinker for sure, yes. Mm-hmm. I have my cravings here and there, but a social drinker, you know? It's like we go out to dinners, we go out to parties, events, and there's always liquor involved. That's just what it is. So it's our choice if we want to drink or not. So culture has a big thing to do with it. What do you guys think?
I mean, I love to drink. I think, you know, as long as you don't take it overboard. I mean, I consider myself a very, like, productive drinker. You know what I mean? I mean, unfortunately, yes, because we're Mexicans. Like, tequila is probably in our blood.
Tequileros, right?
You know,
We're
we
tequileros.
have that, you know, give us you know, even tequila doesn't give us much stuff. Like, we need, like, Long Islands, you know what I mean, to get put in our place, you know? I just think it. I mean, the way the world is, sometimes you just need a little drink here and there. You know, simple as that. Like, I think as long as you don't start like bringing up your past and like fucking talking shit to people and being shit, he's drinking. Yeah, like I think you should be fine.
Yeah, a safe drinker, like a good drinker.
Yeah, like don't crash into shit.
Exactly.
Take an Uber.
Exactly.
Take an Uber.
Yes,
you know?
please take an Uber.
But,
yes, lesson learned.
You know, I think Ubers was a great, like, cause I think you just gotta put it in there, program it. You know, you're an autopilot.
Yes.
Fuck up. You know, you just pull up and that's it.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think the way people sometimes take it, though, like the whole drinking, I don't know. I think sometimes they get carried away, and that's the part where they need some sort of therapy, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
absolutely.
I'm pretty sure that once you get that little aha moment, you kind of turn into the whole like, okay, I can drink, and then that whole situation doesn't necessarily bother me when I'm drinking, you know. And I think that's the biggest misconception, because why would it be out there if it was so bad for him? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah. It's an industry too.
No, it most definitely is. It's almost like you know, the medical bit. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think when you're younger and you start drinking, it's the excitement behind it. You know what I'm saying? And then as you mature, it's the numbing feeling. You know what I'm saying? But as you continue to mature, it's more like, yo, like the quality of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily getting to the point to where you're intoxicated, but it's just like, yo, like, I really am drinking this because I enjoy the taste. Or especially if you're like into tequilas and stuff like that, or whiskeys, and you start researching the process of how they make it. You know what I'm saying? So you start to enjoy it more rather than like, let me wind up on the like front lawn, like passed out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's happened. You know what I'm saying? That's happened. But I think, you know, I mean, I think as long as you can control it, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't let it control you. And, you know what I'm saying? Something's wrong with, you know, having one or two. But I don't know, man. I know people who do it like every day, and it's not necessarily, they're not even buzzing or anything about it. Maybe their tolerance is different, you know what I'm saying? But like, you'll never see them like acting silly or doing anything that would be stereotypical. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm still wondering like what exactly you did though. You know what I'm saying? When you didn't recognize yourself, you gotta put that up. Just give me a little bit. Like, what did you do that was just so out of character? Like, you smacked up on somebody? Like, what happened?
It was so I
you remember
who was it
right?
involved? Who was it? Like,
no, it was just strangers. I can't fully remember. That's the sad part about it. You know, it was just a terrible blackout moment. I couldn't even defend myself. And I've been in fights growing up. You know, I was a little wild one. a little hoodlum, yeah. But nowadays I'm just like, I've been there, done that, man. I can't be getting myself stuck into a mess
doing
anymore.
This
Drugs,
15,
you know, yeah, drugs, alcohol. You know, like alcohol's a hell of a drug too. Too much tequila, man, be careful. Ooh, danger. Yeah. Yeah. So.
But like being in the, you know what I'm saying, like after I don't know how conscious you was of your accident and stuff like that. Did you have to go to the hospital or anything?
Yeah, so they checked me in. I had to go to the hospital, and I had a fracture on my nose, and I just couldn't recognize myself because my whole face was just like, you know, just like swollen. You know?
Like my career is done.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Was your mugshot hella like messed up? Like,
hella messed up, guys. I did not look
like
myself.
eyelashes were on your cheek, you know, the glue came out, everything, you know.
It's
hair extensions down.
No hair extensions.
This is real.
Yeah, so I did not recognize myself. I was blacked out. You know, that's the dangerous part.
So you don't remember the processing, anything?
Right? I just remember waking up to a bank to my head and into a traffic pole. And so that's dangerous because I could have killed somebody. I could have killed myself. And I think that's why it was like super important for me to go to this morgue and see these dead bodies, because sometimes we just have to learn the hard way. And at that moment, I was like, damn it, like, you know.
They were sweet to you, kind of, if you really think about
Why?
it. Like, they could have, like, they could have got you into, like, oh no, you ain't gonna get a whole little lesson. You're gonna go to jail, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
It could have gone worse, you know. At least you got a little, you know, reality check, you know.
And we need those reality checks sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to learn the hard way, and
That's what makes you.
Yeah, that's
know?
exactly. And I'm like, I don't want to learn the hard way anymore. Now I'm trying to be more conscious and mindful about my actions. You know, that's why it's like I'll still have a drink here and there. Sure, why not? Like I like to drink. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Of course I do. You know, but now I have to be more careful and mindful, even about who I hang out with. Right? You guys know about that. Like, not everyone deserves our time and our energy. So that's why I feel so honored to be here as well.
Now we're deserving 18 months later.
I was going through things, you know.
No, it's good. But in your opinion, like, why do you think, like, in general question, like, why do you think we're so attracted to things that are like so harmful to our health, to our families? Like, what is it about that excitement, that adventure? It doesn't necessarily even have to be alcohol. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, we're like drawn to sometimes things that aren't so positive. Why do you think that is?
That's a good question. I think maybe it could be for the thrill. Sometimes we're just in it for the thrill, you know, the little escape or the adrenaline rush, maybe, or I don't know. There could be many reasons. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think maybe you try to, you know, the consequences of it, but you want to see how long you can go without getting caught. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the evasion. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to just, I mean, maybe it's something that you like to hide too. You know what I'm saying? Like that mystery creating, like, man, what is this dude actually doing? You know what I'm saying? Or how is he getting away with it? You know, but you continue, somebody knows what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But I think
the thrill of it, right? Yeah. But there's only so long, right? There's only a matter of time until somebody gets caught or in a sticky situation.
I think is the simple fact of being free spirited sometimes. You know what I mean? I think it goes along the. I mean, do we know the difference between right or wrong? Yes, right. But these are all right or wrongs that society put you, right? I just think that if you're free spirited, you go over the line on what society wants you to freaking do, but it's not like with a freaking ill intention. I don't know. I think it goes with that. Like, because sometimes, like, yeah, I do dumb shit, but I do it because, like, that's just where my mind was going. Like, it wasn't necessarily something where I'm like, I'm gonna do dumb shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you just get caught in the moment, especially, you know, especially when you're drinking. So I just think that, like, you know, sometimes it's the feeling of feeling free. But obviously, I think, let's just say hypothetically, you have, you know, billions of dollars. That freedom does exist. Let's not forget about that.
For sure.
So like the fact that we have a fucking 9 to 5, like that shit, like, no, you can't really fuck up. You know what I mean? Because you don't have that you know, financial backing to do whatever the fuck you want. But like, I feel that there's people out there that have that ability, and I just think that all of us that are not part of that, it's just, you know.
Yeah, it's beautiful to be free. It's beautiful to be free and be authentic and be present. So I think that might have a lot to do with it too. Being present, like living in the now.
I mean, you can be free, but don't you gotta be stupid.
Right,
you know
exactly.
Like,
that's what goes
like, no, dude. Like, there is a discipline to life. You know what I'm saying? You can be free in, like, certain aspects, but not every aspect. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just like you said. You just said 9 to 5. That's not free. You know what I'm saying? Because let's keep it real. We don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain disciplines that come with life. So I don't know. That's kind of a real. Like,
there has to be boundaries. That's why, right?
Like what?
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I'll probably be wearing a robe and some, like, cigar and a whiskey little bottle with me everywhere if I could. Like, just rolling around the world. You know, that would be probably the ideal thing. You know, just chilling. You know. I mean, we're here for so long. Like, think about this. You know what I mean? We gotta make that shit count.
I
then we're living miserable. Like, damn, like we have to change it. We can't just stay in that mindset because that's the mindset. I mean, responsibility wise, yeah, I have to be there, but you know what I mean? Like, what do you prefer? Be responsible and then die?
No.
And then basically essentially become a new era slave, or just freaking, you know, just live your life the best that you could, and if it goes bad, like, I mean, at least that you know that you're conscious about that. I think that's what it all comes down to, is being understanding of the pros and cons of having what's that saying? Dying by your sword. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
I like that, being understanding for sure. And for me, it's like also understanding that we're gonna die one day. I know that sounds heavy, but it's the truth. And like for me, I think about that. I'm like, I'm gonna die one day, and only God knows when that day's gonna come. So that helps me be a lot more grateful.
what do you think that happens after you die?
Ooh.
No, I'm just saying, like, what do you think? What's your thought process? Like, do you really have like hopes of going to heaven, or like, do you think you're just gonna pass out? Like, what's your instant? Like, I mean, obviously you've been close to death. I'm pretty sure it's got there.
Yes. I think our spirits go somewhere. I don't know where, but we definitely have spirits within us. I'm a big spiritual person. I grew up Catholic, but we didn't go to church every Sunday, right? That's not what we did, but I believe in God, and I also know that there's a devil out there too. It's the truth. There's angels and demons, and I think that's all within us. There's good, there's bad, yin, yang, right, day, night, right? So after death, I don't know, but I believe that spirits do linger and live outside of us, and that's a deep topic that is kind of unexplainable, but it's an energy force for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we be talking about this all the time, right? So my theory is this, and like, until, you know what I'm saying, because I'm Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
But until I meet someone who dies, like, not just for a couple of hours on the operating room, you go away for 3 days, come back, tell me what happened, and I'll believe what you say. But other than that, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna stick with, like, I believe, like, our spirits do go somewhere after this. You know, I believe there is judgment and things like that. But you know, he and I both have experienced death recently, and like, this is like the first time to where I like have to reconsider, like, dang, like, what really happens? You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, like, that was the only, you know, like, you know, I wonder, and just in case that person who transitions didn't believe in what you believe, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, dang, what?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's all things to consider and things to think about, and I don't think we'll never know. And then once we do find out, ain't no way we communicating with those who hear.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, cool.
Drop a little Zoom call.
Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just certain things. I mean, I do believe in like the spirits. I don't believe in like those beyond. You know, but I do believe like there's a way to. Maybe your energy is a sign when you walk into a room and you feel like totally present and you feel this like vibe and everybody's just attracted to you, not because of what you look, but just like your presence in the room. I think that's like maybe like your ancestors, your aunts and your deals and your tias, and you know what I'm saying, like all coming together. And I believe in stuff like that, but like me passing away and then I'm like standing in Nesto's bedroom, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I just don't. I don't believe in all that. I'm cool.
blessing, you know.
You look like you're just thinking like, oh, what are you gonna say?
Or you just say,
I'm like, shit, she likes to turn up. I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of cruise on that Long Island feel.
been there, done that, you know.
That's cool, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're only here for so long, and then
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
what's the point?
We're here to serve. I feel like I'm here to add value and contribute, right? That's what we're doing here. We're here to contribute, add value somehow, some way. See or no?
Yeah, you know.
Exactly. Yes.
That's the point of life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? What was the reaction of your family? You know what I'm saying? Once this happened, you know what I'm saying? Like, was your mom, was your pops, like,
Oh yeah, my parents,
They give you the disappointment.
they were devastated. Yeah, they were devastated. I actually kept it a secret for like 2 weeks, and then I was just like, man, I have to tell them, you know.
They're like, where's your car?
Yeah, I'm like, dang, I can't.
Why are you talking?
Yeah. I'm like, this is terrible. And I live by myself, so I was just really taking it all in. And I like to really feel my mess up sometimes so I can just outgrow them and be like, okay, I'm past that.
So you were ignoring those calls for a minute,
Yeah. So I was feeling the grief, and then I'm like, okay, I can't be sitting in this shithole, right? Like for too long. So I got myself out of it, and I'm really proud of myself for where I currently stand. And that's just life. You know, life is up and down. And yeah, my parents felt terrible about it, but they're very understanding, thankfully. And I'm super grateful to have them.
Yeah, you're like, it's your fault.
My mom's like, por pen.
No, they look at you like you broke all the 10 commandments at once.
Yeah.
Like such disappointment. Like when their era, they probably used to do worse. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my parents are old fashioned. They've been together for 46 years. Yeah, my mom got pregnant with my dad. With my dad. My mom got pregnant with my oldest brother when she was 15 years old. Yeah, and they've been yeah, there you go. She was a woman. 15 years old, you know. Yeah.
She was making tamales already then, by then, you know.
Wow, you've come a long way. So I'm like, I have no excuses not to succeed. Right? Yeah.
What's your opinion on like substance abuse counseling? You know, from what I know of what I say, what I would assume is you just replace, or I would think that the treatment centers replace one thing or another. What's your take on that?
Yeah, so I dealt with that during my whole DUI program stuff, and so what I don't like is that they basically switch one drug to another. You know, they're like, okay, well, let's prescribe you this medication, right, to not have your alcohol cravings and stuff. And I tried that, but I don't like that. I don't like that. Like, I don't want to rely on anything to make me feel better. To me, it's all mental, and it's the subconscious mind versus the conscious mind. So there's this really good book. It's called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, and it goes deep, and I love it because I'm like, wow, that's everything right there. We literally have two sides of our brains. So the subconscious mind is like our animalistic selves. Like, it's like the part of us that's telling us to blink, right? We don't have to consciously tell ourselves to blink or to move this type of way, right? So connecting my subconscious mind to my conscious mind, that's when I feel like connected to myself. I don't know if you guys are getting me.
I mean, all I understand is that this is the reason why I want to take a drink. You know what I mean? How do you do all this shit? Trying to connect this, connect that, like just live.
Exactly.
Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the hardest part, that we overthink that shit. Like, like where, yeah, you're right. Scientifically, you gotta do what you have to do to fucking keep your brain at ease, but like, we just gotta live.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. We just gotta live. But what I'm getting at is like, to me, it's just a competition versus myself every day.
So how long does it last, and how do you trigger it back? Because I'm pretty sure at some point, like, you're doing the work, but then you fall off the wagon. I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean,
right, it happens.
It happens. So how does that work for you, and how do you like keep it going?
Well, I keep it simple. I'm mindful. I'm just self-aware, that's all. So I'm just mindful. I'm like, if I'm like falling off track, then I just get myself back on, and that's that. So I just understand like the scientific part of it, where I'm like, okay, yeah, like I wasn't being conscious or mindful. So I'm just more self-aware. So I'm practicing self-awareness, and my consistency.
But no, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I think maybe we got a little off track there, but basically they switch one thing to another, which I don't want to rely on. So long story short, I just, want to mentally be stronger, and that's it. So.
but you say you're being mentally like conscious and or being selective, right?
Yes.
But like, this is something that you just came to right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, of course, like certain situations and circumstances in life, like your eye openers and stuff like that. But I would see you as the same person as you were 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So like, what's different now? You know what I'm saying? Like, that made you just that more aware.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, my whole accident definitely made me much more aware of like just making better and smarter choices, basically. So being more responsible and disciplined. Like you guys said, we can't just be wilding out all the time, having too much fun. There has to be boundaries and lines.
No, he said
that.
I
agree with that.
I was good with that. I was good with the wilding out. Yeah. Never denied that.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good to have some fun. There just has to be some boundaries and lines, right? We gotta be adults. This is called adulting, guys.
You gotta live through the cruda,
You gotta live through the cruda. You wanted to get drunk? Well, you better get your shit together and put your poker face on. Yeah.
So how is it like your resiliency? Like, is it more challenging now? You know what I'm saying? Or like people like just casting you, like typecasting you in a sense? You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean by this?
Like they put you in a category, like, oh, she ain't gonna never get it right.
Oh, man, screw them. It's all good. I'm gonna get it right. It doesn't matter what they say, guys.
Did you tighten up your circle, your friend group?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, my circle is definitely a lot smaller, and that's important. I'm protecting my energy and also my heart. Like, I have a big, huge heart, but I can't like allow anyone inside my heart like that. For example, like falling in love with anybody or something like that, right? I love working with others, connecting, doing business and hanging out, but I can't hang around with anybody because the energy, right? If the energy is wrong, it's gonna drain me, and I can't afford that. So I love people like you guys, people who are all about inspiring, having fun, being joyous, and just being more mindful about who I'm spending my time with, because I don't want to go back to my old ways.
Have you thought about like going into the community or maybe in the classrooms and stuff like that and speaking to the youth? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would love that.
Story.
Absolutely, I would love that. Yeah, I love speaking. I took some speech classes in college. I really love that. I took a whole bunch of classes in college, but I realized, you know what? This is just not necessarily for me. But yeah, if I could, I would. I'm not just a model anymore. I feel like I'm more of a role model now, and that was just my platform for the next thing. And I like being flexible, and I love serving, and I love kids for sure. Yeah.
Any projects coming up?
Yeah. I have some projects coming up, which I'm super excited about. I actually have another podcast that I'm gonna join in on. I'm gonna do some live stuff, and I'm also planning on some new beauty projects. So I don't want to say too much about that, but I gotta keep you guys wondering a little bit. Yeah, stay tuned for more. Yes.
I think you. We talked about a salon, or no? Would you like to do that? Is that something you would be interested in?
Yeah, something along those lines. I've always liked being an independent contractor, kind of businesswoman. So definitely something within the beauty industry for sure, which is coming up. And I'm working on a new license, and I want to start doing some services that I think the ladies would really love. Yeah. Some beauty treatments.
What kind of ring cleaner is this?
I don't want to give it all away, but yeah, beauty treatments, something along those lines. Yes, yeah.
She gets you right. You know?
Making people feel more beautiful inside and out, basically. Yeah.
All right, so you're more aware, you're more selective, you're more conscious, connecting the dots mentally, right? The scientific and the physical, right? But what's a way forward for you? Where would you like to see yourself like a year or two from now? Like, what would you like to have accomplished, or do you have anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. A year or two from now, I definitely see myself continuing doing stuff like this and being my own business owner and influencing more people to just be their best selves, you know. So I have to lead by example. So I would definitely, if I could make someone smile, that's already a success for me within itself, yeah. So I'm super excited about what's to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what advice, let's go back to your career, professional career, though, as being a model for the young girls, you know what I'm saying, or young women out there who are interested in that line of work. What advice would you give?
I would say to be yourself, be original, and also, you know, nothing is personal. We can't take anything personal in this industry because it's very blunt and straightforward, and it could hurt a lot of egos. So we have to put our ego aside, and we have to learn to build our self-confidence and really accept ourselves for our flaws and alls. And you know, it's all a business. So typically, they're just looking for a descriptive individual that they put up, right? They set this description up, and it's okay. Like, there's going to be a lot of rejection, but there's also going to be a lot of success. And that's it. You know, everyone's beautiful and talented in their own way. You know, everyone's special somehow, some way, and there's no competition really with anybody else. The competition is always within ourselves. So that's something that up and coming person would have to work on within themselves and really build their strength up. Like, they have to learn to love themselves, because a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, well, you're too skinny, or you're not skinny enough, or you're too curvy, or you're not curvy enough, or you're not tall enough, you're not this or that. It's like, screw all that, you know. So that's something that people have to be prepared for. So that's that. Yeah.
Would you push your son or daughter in that career path?
If they wanted to.
We hear a lot of stories about these Hollywood kids.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there, so it's getting crazier and crazier, I think. So I would be supportive of my kids if that's what they wanted to do, you know, but I would definitely have to let them know, like, the white and black situation, right? So yeah, it's a tough industry, but it can also be a very successful one as well. But it's always like, what's next, you know. It's all booked by contract, stuff like that, and then there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. So as a woman, we have to be like strong, right? And we have to set our boundaries, because men, we know, you know, a man will go as far as a woman will let him, you know. So there's a lot of that type of stuff going on. You get what I'm saying? So a woman has to really, like, I have to be a professional, right? Like, that's how I have to roll. So yeah, that's an interesting one.
Where's the coolest place, like, you traveled, like, because of modeling?
Ooh, Paris was definitely one. Yeah.
What was the campaign, or what did you do?
I got to do Paris Fashion Week, which was super exciting, and I also booked this contract for Makita Power Tools, which was awesome because they paid me to travel around the U.S. and basically do like personal appearances and sign posters and banners, and I was touring with the MLS at the time, so I was rolling basically everywhere. It was also exhausting because one week I was in Texas, and then the next week I was called out to like New Jersey. Yeah, so it was fun. You know, I got to work with celebrities and everything. So I feel like I was pretty successul with the whole modeling thing. But now I feel like I'm in a transitional phase. Like, I'm ready for some other stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe open up your own agency.
Yeah, maybe, right?
All right, cool. So, I know it's like beating a dead horse. Well, not really, right? But no, but like, how do you? So, because it's people out there who want to know, like you know, we always give like the general answers, or the generic answers. My bad. But how do you steer away from the temptation now not to go too far? Like, is it something that you do in the mornings, in the afternoons? Like, is it something where you like? I need to reel this back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what's your strategy? So maybe, because you know, maybe somebody out there watching or listening or something like that, maybe like, all right, maybe this is something I can try.
Yeah, for sure. I would say in the morning, I like to get on my knees and pray and just take a minute or two to give thanks and to kind of mentally prepare myself for my day. And at night, I like to read self-help books to put me to sleep and kind of like just imprint all this good information in my mind. And also just being more mindful about who I'm hanging out with. And I like journaling as well, which helps me like reflect. I've been journaling probably for at least like 11 years. So I have a lot of journals that I've written in, and then I go back and I see the dates and I'm like, wow, this is how I felt, or wow, like, and I see that I have actually been creating a lot of what I dreamed of, which is amazing.
Journaling.
That's a lot of evidence.
Yeah, I got those in a lockbox.
So like, are those secured? I'm over here worried about a freaking receipt, and you over here got 11 years of freaking. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, but that's almost been like therapy too. It's therapeutic, just releasing all that. So that's almost helped me live kind of like a feather, you know, just walking around real light because I release all that bad stuff, you know. So that's important.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's right as fuck.
Like, I mean, is it buried in the backyard?
Two Rottweilers around.
It's a secret.
No,
In a lockbox.
That's some shit you keep in your mind. You know what I mean? Like, you don't release that. You don't publish it. Like,
My journal is my therapist.
damn.
Now, what moment from your past, like maybe a favorite day, favorite place you traveled, or something like that, would you like to revisit or to continue to do over and over?
Interesting. I like visiting Europe, so I got to see the Vatican. Have you guys ever been?
No.
Wow, so much history there. It's amazing.
So much corruption.
Yeah, and that. Yeah, but it was real, like astonishing to see the Michelangelo paintings and all that beauty. Ooh, that was like, yeah, it's been a while. So I would say about 8 years ago. Yeah, I went to Paris about 5 years ago. So I didn't get to see the Vatican again, but I would definitely love to go back because I felt like blessed and touched just by seeing all that art and architecture. There's so much history out there. It's beautiful. It's real beautiful. Yeah. Or I would say maybe go back to Mexico, my roots, visit my parents' hometown, Tamazula de Gordiano. Yeah.
Did you feel like a type of energy at the Vatican?
Oh yeah.
Was it like,
No! No, never. I cannot do that. No, I literally got the holy water and I blessed myself. I'm like, Lord, bless me.
She's like, I'm in.
I felt blessed ever since. Yeah. No, it's real beautiful. It's really nice. Yeah. It's nothing like seeing it in person for sure. Yeah.
Now, I always think like successful people, you know what I'm saying, they don't become successful by themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they always just a support group, a team around them. Like you said, you gotta like kind of like filter your energy that's in the room or around you on a daily basis. Who are we giving credit to for you today? You know what I'm saying? Like who's your day ones? Like who's helping you along the way right now? Do you have somebody in your corner right now?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I have my parents who have always been there for me since day one, but there's certain things that, I can't share with them because it might be, like it might worry them a little bit.
In that journey.
Yeah, and so yeah, for sure my journal, my parents, I have two best friends that I've been knowing since elementary school, and we're still in touch, which is real nice. So I know I could call them and talk, and you know, they'll be there for me, I'll be there for them. I also have a boyfriend who's been by my side, and a therapist too that I started talking to. So therapy is also something that I'm currently involved with, and it's been nice, you know.
Virtual, or are you going in person?
I'm talking virtually, yeah. So it's like about once every other week, which is nice, you know. Sure, why not? Yeah.
Is that court order?
It started with that. It actually started with that. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so that's what got me there, you know. So I'm like, all right, let me try this out, you know. Yeah, why not talk to a professional about it? Yeah, but my journal is everything.
So do you think it's something like in the past that triggered your behaviors of today, or is that what you're discovering?
Yeah, so I discovered, it's just been bad habits, you know, since I was younger. So, and the culture, like we mentioned, you know, that has a lot to do with it as well. Yeah.
Because you were the youngest child, so like, you feel like there wasn't enough attention, so you was like, let me get their attention. You know, like the youngest, like they parent themselves.
Yeah, pretty
you know
much.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
But depending on the family and the dynamic and all that kind of stuff. But if you get stereotyped, then you know what I'm saying, you kind of was like, on your own.
Right, and my two older brothers were always taking care of me as well, especially my oldest brother. He was like my second dad for both of us, like me and my brother Eric. As the youngest, it was, I think the youngest typically has it maybe the easiest compared to the oldest, only because the parents by this time, they're already experienced, right? So maybe they're just not, I don't know, as tight, or you know what I'm saying? Am I explaining myself well?
No.
Yeah, so my parents were always working too, so sometimes we were home alone because my parents were working, but they were always really good providers. But as the youngest, I think we had it a little bit different. I mean, this is how God wanted it, so what can I do, right? Like, this is my position.
I think it's just a Hispanic thing.
Yeah?
You know what I mean?
How so?
I mean, I think every Hispanic, like, they could be great providers, but like as far as feelings or you know, looking into certain things that, I mean, I don't think it's a necessity, but at the same time, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, like we kind of have to figure it out on our own.
Yeah,
you know, like we kind of just build as we go, and that's kind of how it is. Like they were great providers, but emotionally, not so much. You know.
I think it kind of one of the things that I do find it like a good thing is that you learn to self-soothe. Yeah. So that kind of helps, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's the part where you're kind of missing that little missing screw. That I don't think I wouldn't say needing attention. I would say more on the lines of like you're doing the best you can at a younger age, and then you just kind of just want to like go through, you know what I mean? And I think that's why it may seem like that, especially in the Hispanic community, like as Latinos or Mexicans, you name it, like they all have that same thing where great providers, but mentally terrible.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's because they come from you know, tough backgrounds. Yeah.
Like, put some dirt on it.
Yeah,
you'll be all right.
exactly. Yeah, because you know we're in a foreign new country, right?
So imagine like how many Hispanics are in this country?
Oh.
The majority. Think about it. The majority, the ones that are genuinely Hispanic, majority all damage. You know, to some capacity. You know what I mean?
That's the beauty about it, though. Yeah. We outgrow all that, you know.
That's why you see them girls with like, you know, the Mexican girls with like Cheeto bags and shit like that. You know what I mean? They just
oh my God! What?
You know that? It's just saying like the whole little. Never mind. Let's skip that
every once in a while.
Cheeto bags.
What?
With the hot Cheeto bags.
That's a bad omen. You see a girl with a hot Cheeto bag.
I'm just saying.
But what does it mean? I don't know what it means.
We gotta know, what does it mean, Ernesto?
We'll skip that one. I don't want to take it there.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, but I agree with that. Yeah, so great providers, but emotionally, not so much there.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's necessarily a race type thing. I think that's more along the lines of like that's economics. You know what I'm saying? So that's anyone who are like poverty stricken. You know what I'm saying? Or you got multiple kids. Like, so pretty much you got a family that you really can't afford. Right?
Think about this
all
though.
you do is you work. You don't got no choice, especially if you don't got a college education. You don't got a trade. Like, you're about to work. You know what I'm saying? Mom work, dad work. Mom probably work one job, dad probably work two jobs. So what does that do? That takes you out of the household. You know what I'm saying? So then that's what they call latchkey kids. You know what I'm saying? Your kids are raising themselves. You know, so and anything in isolation can go anywhere, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you have to develop yourself, imagine what you would really be. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily think that's just like a latino thing. I think that's a problem.
But check this out, though. Let me correct you on that one. Think about this. Think about how any other country, right, that wants to come to this, country, right, has the ability to get a visa, except like you see Mexico, South America, all these countries. We're yet so close to the land of opportunity, but yet so far because we can't get through. So think about it. We're already at a disadvantage because.
You want the war?
Huh?
You want the war?
No, I do. But I'm just saying. But I'm just saying. Like, the process is so difficult this way. So I just think that culturally, you're forced to work the extra mile. That's why they say, oh, Mexicans love to work. No, it's not that we don't love to work. It's just that's just what we have to do. You know what I mean? Like, we just have to make it happen. So I think that's the big disadvantage, because you see all these other people you see coming from Europe, all other countries, they get a H-1B visa, they get a bunch of like resources to come out here, and they're already come through as doctors or whatever they want to, all these different professions, because it's a lot easier over there. But like, I don't know, I just think we have it a little difficult. So I would say it's a Hispanic thing.
A stereotype.
I still don't agree. But it's cool. I don't agree. I think any responsible person is going to provide. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got kids. And like I said, like, if you're trying to provide a certain lifestyle for your kids, or you're just trying to make ends meet, like, bro, you about to be working like 2-3 jobs. And that takes you out of the home, and your kids are going to raise themselves.
My parents always hustled. Mom and dad both worked. My dad became a small business owner. He's a machine tech, and he's semi-retired now, but he was doing real well. And my mom was seamstress, so they were both working full time. And then my mom would come home and cook and clean, and so it was nonstop. So it's almost like OCD type thing, where it's like, I was raised around them. I'm like, whoa, okay.
You were trying
to let me go to my room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink for you, Bob.
Yeah.
Get that 40.
No, I had a lot of fun. Yeah, I lived next to a park, and so I was always running around. All I wanted to do was play at the park growing up. Yeah. And my parents were
with
like,
a 40?
No.
I was like, that's dangerous.
Wow, 40 in high school. Imagine that.
The black of miles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, but ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the conclusion of our show. As we always do, we open up the microphones and the table of discussion to our guests, and to the hosts of the show. To leave any parting words or anything you would like to share with the listeners and viewers, because we are always, women first, right? Liz, anything you would like to share?
I just want to say thank you guys very much for having me, and for the viewers out there. You can do anything you set your mind to. I love you guys, appreciate you very much, and it's an honor to be here.
All right, what's that? Did you Nesto?
Yeah.
Shit, thank you for showing up. We really appreciate it. I think it was a great episode. I think the moral of the episode, I think it would be like, just say fuck it, YOLO. You know what I mean? Like, there's no need to. You don't need to overthink it. Just live your best life, and thank you for listening.
All right, what's that? I would say be persistent, because it took me being very persistent for her to be seeing her. No,
That's a
You'll
good
make
one.
it happen.
Persistency.
Manifest it. Got it. But thank you for being here. Thank you for, sharing what some wouldn't share. You know what I'm saying? Because looking at you, if I was going to stereotype, I would never think you'd go through the things or done the things. Or
there's like a real, really good-looking girls that are like, did she commit the crime? So you were probably one of those little girls. You know what I mean? Like, you think she's guilty?
I thank you for being candid and transparent with us today. Hopefully, something you said, which I know will resonate with somebody and stop them or prevent them from making the same mistakes. But once again, we love you. We thank you. Thank you for your continued support. I'm Drew. We are Option for a Podcast. We see you guys next time.
Thank you.